In this video, I want to mention that there's a GitHub repo that you can visit. And in this GitHub repo, I have 3 branches. The first one there, 00, is the end of the last video. 01 is going to be the end of this video. And master will always contain the latest. In this video, I'm going to focus on continuing the work necessary to make the search box functional. And in the last video, you saw me create the interface for the search box. So now I'm going to be focusing on creating the actions, the actual JavaScript code that makes this component a functional component that will essentially allow the user to be able to search by name and additional functionality to make this a useful component. Jumping back to Visual Studio Code, I want to go ahead and create a settings.json file. So I hold down the Alt key, select File, then Preferences, then Settings. So I'm going to be looking for a specific setting here called Font Size. And then I'm going to click the Workspace tab, set the value to 18. And just by doing this, Visual Studio Code creates a .VSCode directory that contains a settings.json file. And this settings.json file has the font size value that I just set earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and paste in some additional values that I would like to use. These are values that I've actually used in other projects, and so we have the font size at the very top, then format on save, and require config. You could probably read the rest of them, but the idea here is that now I have these values that will stick around every time I open the project. The next thing I want to show is the extensions that I'm actually using in Visual Studio Code for all my projects. There are 2 in particular that have been extremely useful. We have Prettier Code Formatter, formats my code just by saving the file. And the other one is the Simple React Snippets. I could type in some abbreviations and it automatically injects code. In the remainder of the video, I really want to focus on the SearchBox.js that we started in the last video, but before I do that, I need to make a change because it's somewhat annoying me that we have to run the start to run the React project and the Storybook script to run the Storybook. So there is a better way. There is a node module that we could use to run both scripts in parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my command line, type in npm lowercase I dash capital D. Because it's a development dependency, then type in npm dash run dash all, execute the command, and once it's done, we will have a new module that we could use in the project to run other scripts in parallel. With the npm run all module installed, now I'm going to be able to run 2 scripts in parallel. So I need to create an additional script, and I'm going to call it React, and it's going to be a wrapper for what the start script is currently doing. I'm actually going to make it more descriptive by adding a colon and typing the word scripts. The next thing I need to do is to use the run-p command that's part of the npm run all module, and P stands for parallel. So the first script that I want to run is Storybook. So I type in Storybook, then I replace the remainder values there with the actual React scripts that I created. And then now in the command line, I could just type in npm start and automatically run both scripts in parallel. With both scripts running, I could verify in the browser that I have the single page application running in localhost port 3000 and Storybook running in localhost 6006. So for a quick overview, the npm run all allows us to run the React scripts and also the Storybook script, and they both are running in parallel. So finally, we're ready to start working on the actual components. So let's go ahead and visit the searchbox.js. But before I write any code, I need to review the actions that I need to implement. The first one is the user needs to be able to press the enter key to find results. Second one, they need to be able to click on the magnification icon to find results. Lastly, they need to be able to clear out the text box and find results. Now I get to write the JavaScript code to make all those actions a reality. So I'm going to go speed it up. and show the results. Whoa, I'm tired after all that coding. So let's review what I did. So if you type in a search term there and press the enter key, you see that it's actually searching for that term there. So I'm doing console.logs to verify this. If I clear out the search term and press the enter key, now it's searching for all. So in other words, it kind of treats it like a wildcard. No specific search term, it means search for everything. If I click on the icon, it'll do the same thing as if I would have pressed the enter key. Typing in a search term, then clicking on the icon, it'll do the same thing as if I would have pressed the enter key as well. Lastly, I'm pretty satisfied with the actions that I was able to implement. And now I get to use them in the actual application. As you can see, I'm testing it out in the actual application itself, running on localhost 3000, going through the motions of both entering a search term, pressing the enter key, and clicking on the icon. That's exactly what I wanted, so I'll continue building the app in the next video.